Hi there, I'm the Health Ranger for naturalnews.tv. Raise your hands out there if you believe that sunlight causes skin cancer. You believe that? Sunlight causes skin cancer? Aha! Gotcha. Sunlight, maybe it doesn't cause skin cancer. Maybe that's just something that you've been trained to believe by the sunscreen industry, or by the dermatologists, or by the cancer industry. Maybe it's not really true. You might think I'm crazy to talk that sunlight doesn't cause skin cancer. What if I told you the opposite? What if I said sunlight actually prevents skin cancer and other types of cancer at the same time? Would that be really wild? Well, it's absolutely true. And here in this video, I'm going to explain to you why sunlight prevents cancer and can even help cure cancer, and why sunlight alone doesn't cause skin cancer. If you believe that myth, you're about to blow your mind right here on this video. Now why, you might ask, why would I say sunlight doesn't cause skin cancer? We've all been told that myth for so long that most of us believe it. If you lay out in the sun like this, then the sunlight UV rays penetrate your skin and they cause cancer. That's the mythology that we've been told to believe. Well, that's a one variable equation. One thing, which is sunlight exposure, causes one effect, skin cancer. They're saying one variable, one effect. But what if it wasn't one and one? What if it was actually more complex than that? What if it was an interaction between sunlight and your skin health? Or more specifically, the level of antioxidants in your skin at the moment that you're exposed to the sun? Well, as it turns out, it really is a two-variable equation. And if you look back at history, you can come to see why this is. Now, here's an image of a woman laying out in the sun. And you might think, well, she's looking a little red. I use this picture to remind you of where the term redneck really comes from. What does redneck have to do with sunlight and nutrition and antioxidants? Well, the truth is it has everything to do with all that. The term redneck came from the south of the United States, of course, during the colonial period, when the Southerners experienced extreme nutritional deficiencies. Specifically, they were lacking B vitamins because they didn't know how to treat their corn with lye in the way that the indigenous Indians treated their corn to extract the B vitamins. So the colonists were deficient in B vitamins, and as a result, when they exposed their skin to sunlight, they got sunburned. The sunburn was the result of two variables. Number one, sunlight exposure, and number two, nutritional deficiencies resulting from their inability to know how to treat food before they ate it. They suffered vitamin B deficiencies, and thus they got easily sunburned. So the term redneck actually comes from this simple truth about how sunlight combines with nutritional deficiencies to cause sunburn. Now what that means for the average person is that if you are out sunbathing and you don't have good nutrition, then you can get sunburned, and that is bad for your health. I'm not disputing that. Sunburn is bad for you. Sunburn does mean that some damage is occurring. But the way to avoid sunburn is not to put on sunscreen like this person is doing. Rather, the way to avoid sunburn is to increase your nutritional intake so that you have more antioxidants embedded in your skin, and then your skin can naturally resist sunburn, and you won't get the burn, and you won't get the increased risk of skin cancer. In fact, you will experience a decreased risk of cancer, especially if you are an African American or you have darker skin, no matter where your ancestors are from. Now, this woman obviously has darker skin pigmentation. So there's something built into her skin, the skin pigments, that block sunlight rays. They block the UV rays naturally. You could, in fact, say that darker skin color is like having your own built-in sunscreen. Now, this causes vitamin D deficiency if you don't get enough time in the sun. Why? Because the UV rays are, of course, what go into your skin and activate your skin's manufacturing of vitamin D. And vitamin D, in case you didn't know, prevents 4 out of 5 cancers of all types. I'm talking brain cancer, breast cancer, bone cancer, prostate cancer, liver cancer, every kind of cancer that you can think of. Almost 4 out of 5, actually the study showed 78% reduction in cancers just from having more vitamin D in your body. It's amazing, huh? And the vitamin D is, of course, manufactured from your skin by exposing it to sunlight. So if you're darker skin, if you have darker skin, you're going to need more sunlight exposure to manufacture the same amount of vitamin D as someone with lighter skin, such as myself. I need less exposure to the sunlight compared to this woman. So she needs to actually spend maybe 2 or 3 hours a day getting sunlight, where I might have enough vitamin D creation just from spending 15 minutes in the sun each day. Now, of course, when I go out in the sun, I'm also using good nutrition, because I want my DNA to be activated to stay healthy all throughout my skin. In other words, I want my genes to be able to resist genetic mutations caused by excessive exposure to sunlight. That's what this little animation is supposed to signify, a little DNA animation there for you. If you don't have enough antioxidants, then of course you're going to get DNA mutations, and that is going to cause skin cancer. So once again, just to review real quickly, sunlight alone does not cause skin cancer. Sunlight combined with nutritional deficiencies can cause skin cancer because it causes sunburn. But sunlight exposure combined with good nutrition, on the other hand, can actually prevent cancer because it allows your body to generate vitamin D. Now, what's this woman doing? She's tanning in a tanning salon. Now, you've been told another lie about tanning salons. You've been told that they're all bad, that this is terrible, this is bad for your health, that you're going to get skin cancer if you go tan in a tanning booth, right? That's what we've been told to believe. By the same people, by the way, who are trying to sell us sunscreen and who are trying to say that sunlight exposure causes cancer. Well, I've already explained why that was a lie. Turns out this is a lie too. Tanning booths are, in fact, they're not necessarily bad for you. They can, in fact, be therapeutic. A tanning booth can help your body generate vitamin D to prevent cancer. Now, I know you're saying, wait a minute, this can't be true. I've heard tanning is bad for you. It's the worst thing in the world. They're taxing it. Everybody says don't get a tan, it's terrible. They're wrong. Truth is, there was research done. In fact, Dr. Michael Hollick, one of the experts on vitamin D in our country, conducted research on vitamin D deficient senior citizens. And he found that by exposing them to ultraviolet rays in a tanning booth, he was able to raise their blood levels of vitamin D. And that meant they had stronger bones, so they had reduced risk of hip fractures. It meant they had reduced risks of cancer. In fact, their risk of many different diseases went down as their vitamin D levels went up, and it was the tanning booth that allowed their vitamin D levels to go up. Now, the truth is, tanning in a tanning booth is bad for you if you have bad nutrition. Remember the nutrition link to the ultraviolet exposure. So if you're a typical teenager, and you're out there eating junk food and drinking sodas and eating fast food from fast food chain restaurants, and you're not taking nutritional supplements, and you're not eating superfoods, and you have terrible nutrition, then I agree that going into a tanning booth is really stupid. It's really bad for your health under those circumstances. Because remember, the ultraviolet radiation combines with nutritional deficiencies to cause skin cancer. That is true. However, if you're a teenager who has good nutrition because you eat superfoods and your parents maybe taught you some good nutritional habits, and you take some chlorella and some spirulina, or you drink some superfood smoothies, or you're into raw foods, or you take some high quality nutritional supplements, so you have good antioxidants in your skin, then when you go to a tanning booth, it's actually good for you because it won't burn you, it won't damage you, and it will increase your levels of vitamin D, which will increase and improve your mood. It will actually improve your mental health. It will improve your cell metabolism so that you don't get cancer as easily. It'll reduce your risk of many different diseases while improving many functions throughout your body, most notably kidney function and bone density, the kinds of things that children need. So tanning booths are actually therapeutic devices, believe it or not. We should be encouraging people to go to tanning salons combined with good nutrition. In fact, these tanning booths, these could dramatically reduce our healthcare costs in America. Because during the winter months, guess what? That's when everybody's getting sick from the flu, colds. Why are they catching colds and why are they catching influenza in the winter months? Because they're vitamin D deficient. That's why. That's why the colds go away in the summer, because more people are getting outside. So all you got to do, if you really want to help the nation be healthier, you want to reduce cancer by as much as 80%, you want to reduce the risk of heart disease, you want to reduce diabetes, reduce obesity, reduce mental health disorders, then all you got to do is get people into the tanning booths during the winter months combined with good nutrition. Antioxidants, astaxanthin, blue-green algae, chlorella, spirulina, superfoods, healing foods, functional foods, medicinal herbs. That's how you can save our nation from its healthcare disaster, the disaster that it's currently experiencing. And tanning booths can play a crucial role. So don't you find it interesting that these are being attacked? Because the American Cancer Society doesn't want you to discover the truth about tanning booths. The Susan G. Komen nonprofit group doesn't want you to know the truth, I think, about tanning booths. Because if women were in tanning booths getting vitamin D during the winter months, guess what? They wouldn't be growing breast cancer tumors during those months. Most tumors grow during the winter months. It's a simple fact of the cancer industry that they don't want you to know. Now, this is true both for African Americans and, of course, for Latinos and people of Chinese or Asian descent. They have darker skin color. Now, I noticed something very strange in the Chinese community in particular. They think that getting dark skin is a bad thing. They think that white skin looks really good, looks cosmetically good. This is especially true in Japan, where you see women walking around with umbrellas. They don't want sunlight to touch their skin. Well, those are the first women to get breast cancer. Those are the first women to suffer the consequences of vitamin D deficiency. If you see someone with pale skin, you should know in your mind that person is not healthy. That person has a vitamin D deficiency unless they're taking a lot of fish oils to compensate for their lack of a tan. A tan person is actually a healthy person. And remember, if you have darker skin, you're going to need a lot more time in the sun, as much as 10 times more time as a fair-skinned person to get the same amount of vitamin D creation in your body. So keep that in mind. All you African Americans out there, you know why your cancers are worse? You know why you're not being told the truth about this? Why are African American women suffering more serious breast cancers? Why are African American men suffering more serious prostate cancers? This is the answer. The sunlight isn't getting to them because they have darker skin pigmentation, so they're vitamin D deficient, which means their cancers are more aggressive, more fatal, and more profitable for the cancer industry. That's right, I said it. Now, I care about everybody out there, no matter what your skin color. I want all of you to be healthy. That's why I'm telling you the truth. If you have dark skin and you're working indoors, like you're working in a cubicle, in an office job under artificial light, you are a ticking time bomb of cancer unless you change your lifestyle and get outside and get some sunlight or start taking a lot of fish oils to get vitamin D in your body. Believe me, you're a ticking time bomb unless you get enough vitamin D in your body. And I guarantee you, in America today, probably 95% of African American people are vitamin D deficient right now. And the cancer industry knows this. And they know that that is a future profit center for their industry, and they won't tell the black men and women in this country the truth about skin cancer, about sunlight, about vitamin D, and cancer prevention. They don't want them to know the truth, because if they knew the truth, people could cure their own cancer for free. Step outside your front door. You could cure your own cancer for free. You don't need a prescription to get sunlight. You don't need to pay a royalty to get sunlight. Sunlight's free. Sunlight is something that was given to us by God and Mother Nature. Sunlight is something that we all have a right to, and it's something that is good medicine all by itself. It's free medicine, and it's the best medicine in the world for preventing and even to help reverse cancer. And that is exactly why you've never been told the truth about sunlight and how it's good medicine. Instead, you've been told the lies. The lies I already reviewed here. The lie that sunlight causes cancer. That's what they want you to believe. That's crazy. It's like saying water causes dehydration. No, sunlight is the light of life. There would be no life on this planet without sunlight. Sunlight is the bringer of every molecule of life on this planet. You exist, you live, you breathe today because of sunlight. It takes a very evil institution to convince you that sunlight is bad for you. That's like telling you that air is bad, or that water is bad, or that food is bad for you, like fresh food, fresh produce. It's not bad. You need air, you need water, you need sunlight, you need fresh produce from Mother Nature. These things are not only good for you, these are the things that heal you. So it's no surprise that the institutions out there that make money off of cancer, that make money off of heart disease and diabetes, want you to believe that these things are bad for you. No surprise, because that's their profit motive. The less you know, the more ignorant you remain about sunlight and vitamin D and cancer, the more money they're going to make off you and off your suffering and off of your disease. The more they're going to be able to exploit your ignorance for their corporate profits. And trust me, that's what they want to do, and they're getting away with it. They've been doing it for generations. And only now, because of publications like this, naturalnews.tv, and free speech, are we able to get out here and tell you the truth about this. The truth that I hope you realize is suddenly obvious, isn't it? It's suddenly obvious. The sun's good for you. And you need sunlight to be healthy. And that it is lack of sunlight that causes degenerative disease in our country today. It's the lack of sunlight that's the problem. It's the lack of sunlight that causes suffering and healthcare bankruptcy and spiraling out of control healthcare costs. It's the lack of sunlight which is darkness, and it is darkness which is ignorance. And this darkness and ignorance is destructive and evil. And that's what the industry is trying to put onto you. Evil, ignorance, and destruction, and disease, and bankruptcy, because they make more money the more you fall into that trap. And I'm trying to bring you some literal illumination here, just to say sunlight is what brings you life. It's what brings you freedom, health. It's what brings you opportunities. It gives you the ability to move through this world with health, mental health and physical health, and with illumination, so that you can do whatever your purpose is on this world. You can pursue it when you have health, and when you have sunlight, and when you have clarity, because of the illumination that sunlight brings into your life. Sunlight does all that. Yeah, this is more than just biological, more than just chemical. This is also a spiritual discussion. The industry, the cancer industry, wants you to live in darkness. I want you to live in the light. I want you to see and experience all the light and all the love and all the warmth and energy that sunlight can bring you, and everything that sunlight stands for, which is knowledge, which is awareness, freedom, choices. Yeah, that's what you deserve. That's what I deserve. That's what we, the people, deserve on this planet. But there are those out there who want you to stay in darkness, so they're selling you on things like this. Sunscreen. Sunscreen, what does it do? It keeps you in darkness because it blocks ultraviolet light from reaching your skin, so that your skin can generate more vitamin D, so that you can prevent cancer. Sunblock is evil. It is bad for you. And it contains chemicals that themselves may cause cancer. Most sunscreen products contain synthetic chemicals. So the more you put this on, the higher your risk of cancer gets, and the more money they make off of you in the cancer industry. So don't use sunscreen, use nutrition. Use nutrition so that you have a built-in internal sunscreen. Now, I'm not saying go out into the sun for 8 hours if you have pale skin and fry yourself to a crisp. You got to use common sense on this. Start taking some antioxidants like astaxanthin, like blue-green algae, like spirulina, like chlorella. Take these antioxidants for at least 30 days, build up your antioxidant reserve in your skin, and then go out into the sun for something reasonable and see how you do. Maybe you can handle 30 minutes in the sun. Maybe you can handle an hour. Maybe you can handle 2 hours. Over time, that will increase dramatically. I used to burn 20 minutes. Now I can be in the sun for 2 or 3 hours, no problem. And I won't burn. I'm not burned. I was just out biking before I did this video, out in the sun with no sunscreen. I don't even use sunscreen. I wouldn't even think of it. I use nutrition as my sunscreen, and I get sun almost every single day. Now, speaking of nutrition, don't forget the importance of eating your antioxidants. Here's a bowl of fruit. Looks like, yeah. Fruit is great, especially berries. Berries can give you powerful antioxidants that can protect your skin from sunburn. But also your vegetables and juice. Drink live fruits and vegetables, and you'll get all kinds of benefits from juicing. You can also juice lettuce. This stuff has an amazing density of antioxidants. The more of that you get in you, the more resistant you're going to be to sunburns. And you won't be a redneck either. So keep on eating those salads. Keep on juicing, keep on eating berries, keep on eating superfoods, and get all the sun that you need. All the sun that you need to be a healthy, happy person, so that you can prevent cancer, almost 80% reduction in cancer. You can prevent heart disease, you can prevent diabetes and obesity, mental disorders, kidney disease, and at the same time, did you know you're going to have healthier, stronger bones? So if you're a woman watching this and you're concerned about bone density, especially in years after, let's say, 50 years old, you probably need vitamin D more than anything else. And if you're an African American woman over 50 years old, it's probably even worse. You need more vitamin D because you're more deficient than a typical fair-skinned person of the same age. Now the industry, of course, the pharmaceutical industry, they just want to sell you drugs, right, to treat osteoporosis. Well, I got to tell you, osteoporosis isn't a real disease. It's just a name that they gave you to make you think they know what you have. If you have, quote, osteoporosis, all you have is a reversible condition where your bones are too fragile. And for most women, that's a vitamin D deficiency. Because without vitamin D, did you know this? Your body cannot absorb calcium. So you might be taking all the calcium in the world and thinking you're helping your bones, but you're not getting the results you want. And you know why? Because you don't have vitamin D in your body. You got to get vitamin D, then you can absorb the calcium, then you can build healthy bones, and then you won't have osteoporosis anymore. Then you cure your own osteoporosis, which is really just a reversible symptom. Get the sun to keep yourself healthy and happy and free of cancer and free of diabetes and free of mental health disorders. And if you do that, you're going to help make the world a better place at the same time that you make your life a better life. You're going to improve everything for yourself and those around you. So what you've just seen is the truth about vitamin D, sunlight, antioxidants, and sunburn, and also sunbathing and tanning booths at the same time. I bet it's pretty different from what you've been told by the mainstream, right? Well, that's because the mainstream has it in their interest to keep you ignorant and to keep you in darkness. But like I said, I'd like you to be illuminated. I'd like you to know the truth about these topics, and now you do. Now, if you don't believe anything I said here, check it out yourself. I encourage you. Go online, search for the topics that interest you, and read up. Find the truth. If you go to the science, you'll find that everything I've said here is absolutely scientifically verifiably true. And you can convince yourself by doing your own research. And don't talk to the experts in the field of dermatology because they've been de-educated. They don't know the truth, although they think they do. That's the most dangerous kind of expert out there, someone who's ignorant but thinks they're knowledgeable. Instead, educate yourself. You don't have to rely on my word. Just let this be something that opens your doors of curiosity so that you can go out there and start doing your own research and you can find the answers that I found. And I think you'll come to the same conclusions that I've come to right here on this video. So thanks for watching. My name's Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, reporting from naturalnews.tv. And be sure to check out more videos for improving your health and your life right here on naturalnews.tv. And of course, thousands of free articles that also dare to tell the truth on naturalnews.com. Thanks for watching. Take care and be sure to get a lot more sunlight in the days ahead. Thanks.